Glory and Ghost Gaming and won on that map. But on the flip end, you know, if it does go the distance and you see that Rise Nation is able to take District, I think Forge Blitz can actually kind of go their way. And you're going to find out why soon. Folks, we're starting off with our very first map on Gears 5.
Yep, could not be more excited. Reciprocity, Rise. It's a brand new map, and as we said, there's so many things to talk about. The win conditions, we didn't even touch on that. Of course, now you can win a round, guy, just by getting a 5-man wipe.
Yes, you can. Yo, when it comes down to the win conditions, Benson, before it was you get a trip cap domination, you won a round. You reach 250 points, you won a round. But now it's gonna be if you wipe the entire opponent team, you can also win a round. So we heard Ryan talking about it earlier. When your entire team is wiped, you have 3 seconds to make a decision if you want to spawn in or not. And that 3 seconds plays a crucial part with the respawning system because you find a lot that you have to make these split-second decisions to decide if you want to get back into the round or not.
Already, trip cap domination could come through. It's Reciprocity putting their foot on the gas pedal early. Round 1 goes their way. Less than a minute, setting the tempo, and the players reacting in tune as well. This is the Reciprocity you want to see.
Ooh,
want to see that energy, but
icy.
Again, I want to point out, when we talked about Franchise as a player, we've said when it comes to these new maps and learning quickly, he is going to flourish. That's what he's really going to bring to the table. And the fact that the first 2 maps are new maps, you're feeling real good if you're a Rec fan, let me tell you.
No, you definitely are. You know, in this venue at the very first Gears of War event ever about 12 years ago, it's only 3 people who was there. Myself, Veli, and Franchise, okay? Fran is a veteran of the sport. And with this game in Gears 5, it's going to play a little bit more towards his strengths with the older play style of Gears back in the Gears 2 days where it was more methodical and slowed down a bit.
Well, just to touch a little bit on weapon placement, because that has changed a lot as well. Not only at halftime do the weapons not get removed, now each team actually gets a pick as well. And it's the winning team, the team that won the last round, that gets first pick. So some big changes there, guy.
So we also saw the marks that get decided to be placed down in the middle by Reciprocity, but on the flip end, Rise Nation chose to give Detox a Botok. Now I got a chance, so you can also choose to give a player the option to cycle through pistols to have the option of Botok, the new pistol as well, the Talon, and the Snub. So Detox, I saw him warming up with that Botok earlier. It hits hard, it has 12 shots in the clip, and you know, he can get a lot done with it. I'm pretty sure we'll see soon.
Okay, well, as we said, it was a good start for Reciprocity. They take round number 1, and round 2, it's Rise that control of their home.
And the pistol is going to be in Drix's hands as well.
Okay, so interesting take on the weapon placement. That's something which I think the players themselves have said. It's so hard to judge, right? Because the meta hasn't been established yet.
Correct.
And it basically feels like just play your own game. Play what you feel is going to suit you. Don't worry about trying to be smart and trying to counter other picks. There's certain methods which, if we see, we'll bring up from what we've learned. But for the most part, it should be play your own game. And well, in terms of playing your own game, Sleepy finds the headshot
with that Marksa. And folks, I got a chance to play with that Marksa. It shoots so cleanly. The recoil pattern on it is beautiful. We're going to see a lot of Marksa plays this season. And now you see Reciprocity bringing the pressure. Where more so, they are on top of Rise Nation's home hill, and they're going to be defending this one. 2 hills to their advantage now, trying to break off towards that B hill.
Well, so far, Reciprocity doing a good job of just coming back into this one. Again, you'll see players up to respawn for the most part here. Close round. Maybe not until a little bit later on where we'll start using the term eco rounds, where teams will just concede the round and make sure they save those respawns.
And Vincent, you know, one thing that you mentioned earlier, wow, Vexes is going to pick up a double. This is something that we can say, the inverse Omen. You know, previously in other Gears, the Omen in the middle just got red, but the outsides of your screen did not. With that Omen being that way, it makes it more difficult to clutch us sometimes. So if you see players picking up 2 pieces, 3 pieces, just know that these guys are going off. But the other thing that I want to mention, as you said earlier, is going to come down to playing your game.
Yes.
The way that the weapon placements are, whatever you place on your home hill is going to swap with you every single round. So, you know, the one reason why I said if Rise Nation can make it to Forge Blitz, for you guys who watched the Gears 4 season, you saw how strong they were on that map.
Yep.
But this time they'll be able to put snipers on their side of the map and build to their team's strength.
Well, Power is currently sitting at 3-2. Trip cap coming in for Rec, but Rise are there. They will break the A hill. The point lead as it stands, 203 to 195, and now it seems like the round could be stolen from underneath their noses. Sleepy should have a 1v1, which he needs to win. Is he gonna get? No, he's not. He falls. B is still under Reciprocity control. It's a 3-point lead currently. Rise now will start earning themselves points as they lock down A. It's Drix on the other side.
This is a
the
big
mid
cap.
Neutral. He's going to decap, and I think he should be good for the cap as well.
You see at the top, Cog wins in 30 seconds. Will get a new win condition when he caps this hill. Swarm wins in 17. This player, Rezik, has to go big. He gets 1. Can he get 2? He has to fight this engagement.
Bear in mind, they bought a little bit of time. It's just 1 hill each, and Rezik is waiting. He's buying so much time. Now he springs into life at B. This is a big play. Reciprocity looking to try and somehow...
Oh my God!
But A's been capped as well. Someone from Rec needs to get over there. C is being taken. Rise
He needs to
should
cap this
secure
hill.
the round.
He gets it, but the decap is not going to matter. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Oh! Wow! In the title.
Well, that last round was a little heartbreaking to lose if you're Rise. You're now 2-0 down. I want to send it to a listen with Rise Nation.
They know. Hands to play. Icy's forward. Hands to play. He's forward. I break the. Yo, they both came back and killed me, bro. Y'all need to kill Icy. Nice.
I'm down the back right now. I'm down the back,
boys. Yeah, I'm shocked. Oh, you got it.
I'm dead, bro.
Oh, good. They come up.
You're gonna get
Hurry up. Rushies has no more respawns this half.
Yeah, Rushies had no spawns, baby. No spawns.
Good job.
Idiot, bro. Idiot.
Nice, Drix.
Oh,
yo, kill this kid, Rezik.
Hop over, Drix.
Hello?
Oh,
I know, I can jump over that.
give me up our hill. Hop our hill.
Nice. They picked up Marcel.
Work B. 2 dead work B.
Look for Rush.
I don't know, he ran. Yachty, he probably went back to home.
Kate, right?
Rush
Rush's Kate.
Yes.
Well, he's on that hill, like on B on opposite side, their side of it, the H.
Can I wait to Marco?
I'm going to them.
I'm home.
I got Marcia.
What are we shocking and what are we pushing?
Push up top. Both of you guys. Shocking the mark. Oh, I'm going top.
He's on the far left.
That's fine.
How J, boys? How J?
I need to reach you. Revive, guys, revive.
Get on top. Back up. No, we're down, brother. We can't get a revive.
Bro, that's so sad.
Listen to each other, man. Just relax, bro. Like, we actually have to listen to each other. All jokes aside.
Alright, don't respawn, bro.
Enemy spotted.
I'm literally not respawning.
Yeah, the Marco has the hill.
Yeah.
That's the marker goes big.
Oh, I don't.
Nice.
Nice, Vic.
It's just you. Don't even. If he can.
If he kills Rush, I'm literally.
Just fly at him. Just fly at Yachty.
Yeah, probably Yachty.
Get your health back and fly. Probably getting flanked right now.
Alright, Brandon spawned in. He just wasted his spawn.
That's good. He's an absolute idiot, bro.
Oh my god.
There's 3 on Vic.
That's fine.
Couple of key things to talk about from that listen in there with Rise Nation. Rec will win the round comfortably so. They go up 3-0. But you heard how our players currently stand in terms of respawns. So there's a look. Rushies is down to his final respawn. There's a couple available for Rise. Of course, Sleepy with 4, but Powers has played his life very, very well. Still all 5 respawns available for him.
And that would have been one of his criticisms because, you know, Powers has more of a Gears 4 in-your-face type of play style. And so if he rushes around this map too much trying to make plays and get too flashy, those respawns can burn very quickly, especially against a good team like Reciprocity.
They can definitely make you pay. We'll see, though.
Utilizing those Lancers, and I'd tell you that's one weapon that I love. The Lancer, getting a change to the crosshairs, the hit markers. I love it. You're going to see that flash come out and hit that stun. Rushies trying to make something happen, but Fran goes down as well. So that one respawn we talked about, Rushies is going to be on his last life in this round.
Another question is, well, do you even want to invest it here, right? He may honestly just sit and hold and wait to see if maybe his team can make a play with Icy falling. You would assume the answer there is no.
Okay, so if Rushies dies in this round, it would be Rise's opportunity to have a man advantage and to close this one out and get one on the board. And I'm pretty sure having Coach Keem, the brains behind him, he's going to be calling that one out as well.
Of course, that's when you look at maybe trying to win the round based off a different condition, right? Points may be completely off the board. It may have to be team wipe. See if you can try and make a play across the map. Well, Detox has Icy in his sights. In terms of points, It is Reciprocity with the advantage here in round 4. It's a very fragile lead though, 96 to 88, 2-1 hill advantage. It's a home hill setup currently for Rec. A and C both locked in. It's the mid-neutral B hill, which Rise still controls as Rushy springs into life. Drix goes down, Powers also goes down. 3 players up for Rise. Is this maybe an opportunity? He wins this fight. Very well could be.
Ooh, ice in his veins, Shock. Gonna just line that one up and connect. He's gonna try to have his teammates back. You see how these players, they're trying to take it wide, not stay in this one-shot range. On your screen, you can see the pellets of the shotgun connecting with the players to show how many of those shots are hitting.
And bear in mind, that's Franchise. Fran only has 1 respawn left. That's why he was running. He will fall this round. Shock making the plays, but the problem for Rise, they're making all the plays they want. They're down in points, and they're down in hill control as well.
So now, you're gonna have Rise Nation, they have to, Rushies has no lies either, so if they can find him, possibly have Drix try to harass him with that Botox, maybe get a long-range headshot, they're good, but Rise Nation knows that they have a man advantage. Rec in a position where they only need 1 hill. They're gonna try to fortify on B. Detox goes down, Rushy gets 1. He sees the flank coming, can he get a second?
It all comes down to defending B because C is gone. Now all of a sudden Rushy's down. It's Drix versus Sleepy. He's gonna go for the res. Shock wins the fight. B being capped up.
They gotta go. He can't cap this, and Shock knows it.
You have
Can
13
he be the
seconds.
hero?
13 seconds.
He doesn't even want.
I don't think he wants to fall. He's down to 2 respawns as well. He's trying to value
It
his
doesn't
life.
matter as long as he doesn't spawn into the round.
That's true.
But in his mind, he really didn't have a play because if he does, there's in those positions who aren't spawning with those smokes and stuns, they have an option to go get that utility before you start upgrading those weapons, progressing into the map.
Well, it's a 4-0 advantage for Reciprocity, and this is now really where Rise need to spring into
Drop
life.
shot on the
There's
map as well, Ben.
a couple of players, as I said, down to their final life. And you might not see him again in this round, but it's Franchise going for the early flank. That's about as free kill as you can possibly get. And this is a strategy which Reciprocity love. The shock nades and just choking out the B hill.
They're so strong.
They're so smart with it. When drop shots placed there, they have that go-to plan. It works out so well. It worked out for them yesterday in their Swiss games, and it's worked out perfectly in this round as well.
You know, in Gears 4, I used to get upset sometimes when my ranked teammates would put shot grenades on the map. I'm like, come on, you can put something else down.
Hey, they're powerful this year.
But now in Gears 5, shot grenades are very useful with the pace this game is playing at.
Very useful indeed.
You see Rise Nation, they're trying to get to this home hill, use some of Reciprocity's strats from the previous rounds on them, seeing if it's gonna work for them, but that drop shot is gonna do the damage needed. Something very important though, one of the biggest changes in Gears 5 Escalation, it is war zone rules compared to execution. Before in Gears 4, if a player went down, that player can tap up and revive himself.
Yep.
But now, if a player goes down, he needs somebody to get over there and revive him. If not, he'll bleed out, but they also have the option to end their own life.
They sure do, as Rise Nation are trying to push, but there were so many downs. 2 players actually full here as well. Reciprocity with a flick of a switch can turn the momentum around. Drix could be in all sorts of trouble. He tries to force the 1v1. He's done so well. He's still alive somehow. Fran now calling for a little bit of assistance. Again, he's down to his final respawn, but what a performance from him so far. 22 elims, 9 deaths as well. Reciprocity defend their home hill. They have full map control. This looking like another round they'll take.
Rushies is out. He cannot respawn, but also on the flip end, Avexies has no more respawns. We got some 4v4 escalation action on the main stage. So, Rezik, he's going to have this height advantage at the U. Reciprocity will have B locked down in their home hill as well.
Time's ticking, guy. Time's ticking.
18 seconds until they win. Rise Nation don't have too much time to make a play. They need to decap the B hill and Reciprocity's home hill.
Oh, that can't happen. Shock with a nice opening, and then Rezik will fall. Fran is also down. Now it's going to come down to, can you defend your home hill for 12 seconds? What more resources do you want? Icy's going to go down.
That
Rise
hurts.
Nation, they could just
Shock,
steal the
what
round.
you got for us? He gets the down, and there you go. Rise Nation in the nail biter at the end. They get 1 on the board. Also, you got Icy and Rushy, so I do think at some point we are going to start seeing these long-range weapons get placed down on this map in the second half of it.
Well, a couple of players down to just their final respawn. The last round of the half.
And let's not forget the respawn timers are decreasing, so...
That's what I was going to say. With the respawns going lower, I mean, this is the rounds really where you want a bank of respawns available, and if you're Reciprocity, you don't have that.
Avexies and Rushies only has 1. We know that for sure. And then on the flip end, Shock only has 2 for them. So they're gonna have to be smart with this one, but being patient. The shock's behind those players. They can't move back.
And this is that strategy I was talking a little bit about. That shock grenade can be so potent. Sleepy Time to set himself up for a nice little flank, but instead it's a 2v2.
He has the down, and he knows he doesn't have to play for the down if he don't want to, and Icy with the veteran play. He's gonna hold his ground, and 3 downs on the side of Rise Nation. And to be honest with you, you could have left them all down.
I was gonna say, you could have just completely left them. You don't need to finish them off. Put them on an even bigger timer, especially in a round like this where the respawn delay is so low. You leave them down because you know what teammate's gonna come in and 1v3 and pick them all up.
Force them to make the decision. Say, hey, your next teammate can come get down if he wants. You can see where they're starting to crawl to and see where the next guy is coming from. It's so much more depth and escalation now than Gears 4.
And it's going to take some time for, I think, the players to kind of get used to those decisions as well, because it's something that they just don't think about right now. They're so used to, obviously, the previous game, but with so many changes, I think you'll see a very deep meta game develop as the season goes on. It's still, though, this round, advantage Rise Nation, 130 to 59 points. The home hill is finally taken away. Avexis has fallen. Bear in mind, Rushies is out of action this round. I believe Icy is also out as well. So if you're Rise, all you have to do here is play your numbers.
Avexis is out for good too as well. Now, I will give you guys a little tip at home. When you look at the sides of your screens, if you do see that red skull next to that player's name, that does mean that they're out of respawn. So they're out.
Yep.
As you can see on the side of Reciprocity, 3 of those players cannot spawn in.
It's a 4v2.
Sleepy Time, Rezik, if they can clutch up, they can get the round for them, but let's see how great they can be in the 2v4.
I mean, at this point, you're looking for somehow 2 players to win 1v2s. The stun went
Now,
out.
Shock only has 1 life and Detox, so they can turn this into a 2v1 if they just kill Shock and Detox.
Well, unfortunately, Rezik will go down. The trip cap was coming through anyway. Rise will stunt his decisions. You have to think about, well, how is the map going to look in the second half when our hills eventually do flip? Of course, our respawn timers go all the way back up this year. So back to those high respawns, and of course, all players now back with 5 lives available.
Highest kills on both teams, Rushies and Shock with 25 apiece. Reciprocity, those kills are spread out very nicely across the board for those guys showing their teamwork. Now, those shot grenades are gonna hit the back B area where the drop shot is located. So even though the neutral hill was was located in this area in the first half, you still see the team fight still having to be played out over there because of that drop shot.
So powerful.
That's gonna add more consistency to these teams playing. The one thing about Gears 4 that I always say, and I always say, put a big heavy power weapon down right away, because you want a nice anchor on the map, something to start basing strategy around and build off of, so your team can just get better as time goes on. So
that was Gears 4.
Yeah.
Gears 5, there's gonna be a lot of power weapons on the map, let me tell you.
You got a lot of options, and that's what we said earlier, play to your team's strengths.
Yes.
Once you start reacting and playing to your opponent's strengths, you already are making the map difficult for yourself.
Couldn't agree more. Reciprocity here in the first round of the second half do have themselves a nice advantage. 2-1 hills. The point lead will swing back in their favor. That'll be key for as many players as possible, just to utilize as few lives as possible. Here's a look at the map and the setup currently from Reciprocity.
We saw that Marksa get evolved into a torque bow that was down there at the east side, so players is going to be able to fight for that one, and I do believe that torque bow does have a good amount of shots in it.
Yep, it's 5, and that's going to be coming up in about 50 seconds, so bear that in mind. Drop shot is going to be exactly 50 seconds from now.
Woo! That's a headshot.
5-second difference.
Talk about precision aim.
Okay, well, there's 2. Trix is going to fall as well.
Thread the needle, Rushies.
Oh, I see.
Thread the needle,
There's
Rushies.
number 3. Rushies, you want
Can
to
you
go for
get
4?
4?
Hey, this should be a new win condition, right? When one guy wipes the entire enemy team.
Ooh, one more
Rushy
player.
Down Chuck. You see him, go for it. You may as well, but no. Rack will do it the old-fashioned
I would step
way.
off the hill. There you go. Hey. Well, at that point, yeah,
did I need to respawn there?
I will say I was going to give Rushies a little bit of criticism as well for that 4 piece, even though it was good. Only because that was the first time where I got to see that pace. He got 1 kill, got 2 kills, but he kept going and kept going. But in this game, you know, the shotgun hurts.
It really hurts.
If you don't stop, like, get those kills and slow down a little bit, make sure your teammates there, checking all these corners, you can lose an advantage playing at that pace.
Definitely can.
Reciprocity though, map 1, training grounds. They haven't lost it yet, and they're looking to go perfect so far in competitive Gears 5 gameplay.
Trying to shut down Detox, and Avexi's could be in a little bit of pain. He knows he's going to be trapped. He tried to force a fight against Rezik, and Rezik will still find the kill. He should be picked up, so you don't have to worry too much. Drick's doing his best to just provide some cover fire, if nothing else. Get some damage down. Shock is still down. Fran may want to force another 1v1 with Powers, old teammates, and it's Fran that wins the fight. Powers goes down. Reciprocity in almost a great position here to put himself at that point.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that we saw in the last round, we saw that drop shot get blocked, by the way. The drop shot
locked, not blocked. It's locked for 3 rounds.
Yes, it got locked for 3 rounds. So in Gears 4, we did have a block where you could take off a power weapon that was on the map. Now you're just gonna disable and lock it for 3 rounds, but that is so influential on when you use it.
Yes.
So one of the best rounds is round 5, when you have that round 6 where nobody's kind of placing those weapons, and you can kind of get that same consistent round back to back.
Yep.
Also, towards the late game, if it's a long, strenuous game and you make it to round 10, use your block.
Yep.
Take something out, especially take your opponent's strongest power weapon off the map for the entirety of the series.
It's strange. I really feel like locks could actually be one of the most powerful things in the entire new weapon placement system, and can really change the map. And there's Reciprocity at 5-2 up. Of course, it is still first to 7 rounds.
40 seconds to make a play for Rise Nation. If that, USA just a little bit lower, because a little bit less, because you know, they're gonna have to decap both these heals at this point. Go for that trip cap.
You just gotta make a play.
They're gonna go for it now. Is he gonna hop over? He does hop over into that hill, so he's gonna be able to decap it. 4 Lancers of Reciprocity looking down. They do have 1 down. The revive chain is trying to come out, trying to play their lives. That's gonna be a good flash grenade. He hops over, does not win that fight. Franchise shuts him down.
And that's just so smart from Reciprocity.
Ooh.
That is so smart. They recognize, let's stack the mid-neutral hill. 4 Lancers out. We'll get it down. Right, we're guaranteed to get the first player down just with good team fire. As soon as that down comes through, you force panic from Rise. They don't know, do we go for the revive? Do we try and force a fight? Do we try and give ourselves a 3v3 here? What's the play? And the way Rec played it, just again, so intelligently, so passive, cool, calm, and collected. They let Rise come to you, force the mistake, then use numbers to give yourself even more numbers and win the fight.
Now, coming into our weapon selection, we're going to be having Reciprocity, the winning team, making the first pick. They choose to upgrade their flash grenade in the corner into a Marksa, a weapon they can bring down for that torque bow fight. We saw how they were set up defending that E-hill from Rise Nation with all 4 players up there. Just imagine with a Marksa in their hand, what they can do on a flip in.
Right.
Rise Nation, they're building towards the same similar strategy to fight on that side of the map. But if you can control that half, you'll have some good power weapons to work with going into the late game.
Well, respawns available for both teams, relatively even. I believe there's only 1 player less than 4. That's going to be Detox, who sits with 3 available.
I will say that, granted, Reciprocity does have a great advantage having that Marks on their side of the map, but let's not forget that Drix does have a Botok in their hands as well.
True.
And that Botok in his back pocket does a lot of damage.
Oh, that's just some good shots coming out of Rushy's meat shield there. Team fire as well. That's going to be 2 dead. Honestly, he's eyeing up number 3. Powers will fall. And Rec.
Sayonara, hit him with the emo. Nice try.
The disrespect.
That is, just so you know, that's going to be the funnest thing in rank. Just
Emoting.
sniping people and just emoting right after, but like, you tried.
Well, E-hill's been broken, but this feels more and more like Rise trying to hang on. The Reciprocity tempo of the map has just been so high, so fast, and it's mainly part of this young man. He's looking for number 35. There it is.
Don't do it to him, Rushies.
36, of course you can. It's Rushy's another double kill. He's literally been a walking double on the map. Every fight he's taken at an advantage or disadvantage, it doesn't seem to matter. Shock will have to try and push him, but unfortunately for Rise and Shock,
Vexies has that torque bow, and he's looking in that direction of Rushies and co. The neutral hill is going to be in favor of Rise Nation. One thing that you can also do as well that's going to be very important So you can also cut the weapon respawn timers in half of any weapon you choose on your side or the neutral or across the center line of the map. And that's going to be important, especially if you are able to build up a boom shot, a drop shot, or a sniper on your side of the map, and you cut that respawn timer to, you know, just a minute.
Yeah, can be massive.
Yes.
Can really be big. And let's not forget the drop shot is, of course, still locked out for 2 rounds, so that's not going to have any effect. The new talk is up in less than a minute, 55 seconds to be precise, but the fight's going on over towards F, and so far, Rise seem to have just survived, barely by the skin of their teeth, but damage has been done in terms of points. It's a 183 to 100-point game. Sleepy's made the heads-up play to rotate over towards the mid-neutral. He now has himself a 1v1, but the support shots are there for Rise. Sleepy wants to just try and give himself an advantage in the fight. He will be unable to do. 24 seconds. Rise, you gotta make a play or map 1's done and dusted.
And that was the fight that Sleepy had to take. You got a guy Lancering over your head, one in front of you. You got to try to make something happen quickly. If you just sit there, then you know that Lancer is gonna, you know, be so influential. But 29 seconds to Reciprocity gets to match point. It's 6-2 so far. So, but you see our graphic is reading the future. Let's see if he really is that good, because we need to get him on an analyst desk. Reciprocity. Are they gonna take it?
Yeah, they're set up so perfectly here. Rise need an absolute miracle, and I don't think they're gonna be able to get it. He is neutral. Icy has support of his teammate. They only need to hold their home hill. That, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like, leave a comment down below letting me know what you thought, subscribe to my channel if you're brand new for more videos, share the video around if you really enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.